everyone, my name is Tomoko Taniguchi, Administrative Procedures Legal Specialist. Sometimes we are called immigration lawyer and called gyosei shoshi in Japanese. Today, I'd like to explain to you about permanent residence application. You need to meet some requirements to get permanent resident visa. Let's check it together. First requirement is a residence requirement. You have to keep living in Japan over 10 years and it must have the period of over 5 years you have worked with any working visa. For example, the case you had stayed as a student in first 5 years and after that have worked with any working visa in next 5 years. And also dependents of these people can meet this requirement. But there is one thing you have to be careful of. This over 10 years mean that you have kept living in Japan continually without leaving Japan over 100 days. If you live over 100 days per year, the period is reset and you have to restart counting at the time. And in principle, you need over 10 years living. There is an exceptional regulation for people who is married to Japanese or permanent resident. These people meet the requirement over 3 years marriage and over a year living in Japan. And there is also an exception for semi-permanent resident with over 5 years living in Japan. But please be careful of living in Japan over 100 days. It is the same to reset the period if you are those people who apply to the exceptional case. Next requirement is a living requirement. You or the person who supports your life must have enough income to keep living in Japan without difficulty. There is not a concrete criteria of how much you should earn money for a year, but it will not be permitted when you or your supporter's income is very low. You had better think about applying for permanent resident after you get increased your income. And also it is important point to get income and pay tax, health insurance, and pension every month without delay. You need to submit the 2 years payment evidence document. And also you have to be hold 3 years or 5 years residence card. The last requirement is the behavior requirement. You have to be careful of traffic violation. If it is minor violation, it is not a big problem for immigration examination. But if you have so many violations, or in case of speeding violation and suspension of license, it is going to be a big problem. Immigration will never give you permanent residence visa unless they admit you as a good person who can follow Japanese law and rules appropriately. These are the basic requirements for permanent resident visa. You have to collect all the documents to prove that you meet these requirements, and also you need Japanese translation for the documents from your own country. If you can't judge yourself to meet these requirements for permanent resident, please ask me, immigration lawyer Yosei Shoshi, who is a visa professional.